Cleaning windows, that's pretty easy. Get something that's not heavy in ammonia, okay? If you had tinted windows on there, you want to make sure you don't have too heavy of an ammonia-based window cleaner that can pull the window tint off, okay? I always use a 2-towel method when we clean windows. One to wash the window, and another towel to buff all the streaks off, okay? When we clean our windows, we do the outsides up and down, and the insides back and forth. You can identify your streaks. That's just a technique that we use, okay? Like I said, one towel to wash the window down and go around. So if you got a lot of snoop all over your windows from your dog, all right, you got one towel that's gonna wash all that down, and you're gonna go back with another towel that's gonna buff it clean, basically. Headliners, I use glass cleaner. It's alcohol based mainly. It's gonna dry fast. It's not gonna saturate, so it's not gonna pull the headliner down, okay? Again, you'll just take a towel, spray onto the towel, and then go after your spots, okay? Try and start with a dabbing process on it, okay? Before you start going all out with it or something like that. But headliners can be very meticulous and tricky to clean, so you're gonna wanna go tread lightly with that, okay? Again, window cleaner is something that we use to clean our headliners. It's got the alcohol in there, it's gonna dry fast for you. Unless you really got a problem. I don't think that's the case here. Interior protection for the carpets and upholstery.
Before you leave windows, one of the things I started using lately, there's a supplier that sells a clay bar particularly made for windows. I thought my windows were really clean. I used that, and it was amazing how much dirt came
Oh,
off.
you had the clay magic for the windows?
Yeah. Do you use that?
We use that occasionally, okay?
You wouldn't want to use it on the inside though, because it would take the tint off, or doesn't it matter?
Yeah, I would definitely be careful using it on tinted windows. That's for sure. You know, because if it does, you know, it could pull the tint off. That's mainly designed for the exteriors.
Yes.
All right. And what he's talking about is Clay Magic has a little bar of clay for cleaning the glass, and what it's designed to do is help pull off any sort of dried fallout, okay, that can be left behind, any sort of acid rain that can etch the surface of the glass. And what the clay bar does for the windows is it helps remove all of that finish.
Gary, how's that different from the clay bar you use on your paint?
It's not as aggressive.
It's
Not as aggressive as it would be to the paint. Okay, it's just a different formulation that they came out. Basically, it's still the same concept. You're going to be clay barring, but it's a bar of clay that's got less aggressors in there, so it's not going to do as much damage to the glass as it would to a paint.
Can you use regular paint clay bar on your windows?
As long as it's a fine grade, I wouldn't use a medium grade clay. You would probably still be all right, you know, using a fine grade clay on your glass. In my years of doing auto show work, we use quadruple out steel wool. Okay, that's another product that you can use to clean some of the acid rain stains off the windows. So if you got alkaline rain or acid rain stains on the windows, or if there's any sort of overspray, quadruple out steel wool, you guys know what I mean by that? And sometimes you can take a little bit of polish and clean it up with that also.
How about a bars keeper? That kind of a product. It's pretty smooth.
I haven't, you know, to be honest with you, John, I haven't really used bars keepers much on windows, so I know it works good on porcelain. I use it at home in my sinks.
Well, there's some material that you can buy from shops that service like lens crafters or any of the glasses shops that they use to polish. I think it's called ceramic oxide, but I don't think that's entirely correct term. But that's very, very fine.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure
use that specifically for glasses. It's not supposed to leave any scratches.
There's a variety of products that are out nowadays. I mean, there's a lot of companies that have their own polishes and products. At Great Lakes, we have a product called Diamond Fusion. and it's a nano glass resin, and it's designed to fill in all the pores of the surface of the windshield. Okay, it helps reduce the glare. It protects the windshield from the amount of stone chips that you can get. It coats the windshield so you have a nice smooth, even surface on the windshield. It makes cleaning easier. It optimizes clarity, and it repels all the weather. Okay, you probably kind of think of it. Most of you guys familiar with what Rain-X is. Okay, this would be our Diamond Fusion would be Rain-X on steroids.
So it's like Aquapel?
Probably twice as good. I've used Aquapel before, where you got the little packets that you break open and you put it on, and then you wipe it off. Diamond Fusion is a two-part component product. It's a nano glass resin, so it's almost like liquid glass, and you coat the whole windshield with it. Okay, and then you'll buff it out, and then you'll put the second component, which is the hydrophobic barrier, and that will repel all the rain, sleet, mud, slush, snow, and ice. We have YouTube videos on it at our shop. So if you go to Great Lakes, you'll see our Diamond Fusion stuff that shows all of our products. We did a mud test where it repels all the mud right off the side of the vehicle, right off the front of the windshield. They've done a test where they shoot it with a BB gun, the protected side and the unprotected side. The protected side repels the BB every time. The unprotected side, it penetrates the glass every time.
How long is that good for?
That's a lifetime guarantee product.
Wow.
Comes with free revitalizations of the hydrophobic barrier, so you can have it revitalized. So if the rain repellent starts to break down a little bit on you, you can have it revitalized for free. Okay.
Is that something we can buy from you and do it ourselves, or does that have to be done by you?
It has to be done through us. Okay. We'll put it on for you, and then you can just bring it back once every 6 months to have the revitalizer done. Okay.
Jerry, when you do that process, what does that process cost?
That's a product that's going to run about $300. Okay, it's an accessory that we sell to the vehicle. Okay, the insurance reimburses the cost. So if anything ever happens, because it doesn't make it completely indestructible, so if something was to happen to the windshield, the insurance covers the cost of having Diamond Fusion put back on. All right. Highly recommend that product, because if you do a lot of driving in there, and if you want to reduce the glare and optimize the clarity, that's a great product. Okay, like I said, you guys are familiar with what Aquapel and Rain-X is. This would be that product on steroids. Okay, that's kind of how the analogy of telling you what Diamond Fusion is. I don't have any with me today.
Can you use it on headlight lenses, or is it strictly for glass?
It's strictly for glass. Okay, but it has been known to be used on shower doors and granite countertops and stuff like that, in kitchens and bathrooms. We sell it for the car windshields. Okay, automotive windshields. They use it in the military to help protect their glass from pitting from all the sandstorms. So you know, it's a military grade product. You know, for people.
Does it work on plastic?
I wouldn't use it on plastic. It's too expensive for plastic.
Well, it's like windshields on a motorcycle, you know, they always get scratched.
Oh yeah, I see what
That's
you're
why
saying.
You can't find anything on there to keep the rain or anything off of it. Rain-X doesn't work, none of the other stuff
Polish,
works.
just regular automotive polish.
Yeah, and that'll turn hazy after a while, see, so that's.
Well, it's you know, probably one of those things where you got to keep up on it a little bit more. Maybe a cleaner wax would probably be your best bet.
Yeah.
So you don't have a lot of, you know, you can have a wax that's going to evaporate for you, and you'll have a polish where you'll get that nice lustery finish on there. Door jams, you know, inside of a vehicle are an area that can be an eyesore for people, and it attract and catch a lot of dirt. If you have access to a pressure washer, what you'll want to do is spray some degreaser in there. Even the special cleaner will work perfect. Give it a light spray. Hand wash the rest of the door jams down so you can have all those nice and clean. You know, you can see where stuff starts to build and track. So, you know, depending on how good you want it to look, if you got shows coming up or something like that, just go in and spend the time and detail it out. If you need to add some sort of dressing, you can dress the rubber moldings and really make it look nice. Excuse me. And then that way you got a nice clean finish on everything. So when you open the door, all of your trim is dressed and clean. All your door jams are, you can wax your door jams for that matter. Your Mercedes symbols down here, they could be nice and clean. If you have compressed air, that's probably the easiest tool to use. Take your detailing brushes, blow it out. You can loosen all that tight dirt that's compacted and dried in there. And blow all of that out. You got to use a little bit of cleaner. That sometimes helps break down the hardened products that are in there. And that'll blow all that stuff out. You know, again, a glass cleaner on the wood grain surfaces is going to give a really nice finish, so you don't have any streaky residue marks left behind. And I would probably use a micro towel on that.
Do you like carpet chemical foam cleaners better than using like a little steam attachments? If you got one for your Hoover that you use on your carpet, you know, those hot water rinse things, you don't like to do those as much?
It's 6 1/2 dozen to the other.
I just wondered about getting the carpet wet in there, if that's something you really don't want to do.
If you get the carpet wet, you're going to want to make sure you dry everything out, okay? Otherwise, mildew, bad odor can build up. So, you know, if you go to the extreme of hot water extraction, or if you got a bucket of water, and the old school way would be to, you know, take a brush, dip it in the water, spray some soap on there, some carpet shampoo, and scrub it all out, you know, and then take your dry vac, you know, and then you still have a damp carpet in there. Just leave your windows down. Or if you don't have the opportunity, you can run the heat high on the floors, crack your windows a little bit so the air can circulate, and that will help dry it out as well also.
I use a hair blower. If I do a spot, you know, spot.
Yeah, I would say you got a lot of time on your hands.
No, I'm just paranoid.